Hey, brothers and sisters, God bless each and every single one of you. It's Hunter's Point here with another video. I wasn't going to do another video today, but I just want to let you all know that I sincerely thank you guys for your prayers. I feel much better. Could have been something I had eaten. It could have been the fact that I hadn't had enough water in my system, things of that nature, but I'm feeling really, really good right now, and the Lord was kind of leading me to come back on here and report on the ongoing situation between the United States and Iran. Right, it's no secret that we've seen a lot of threats being thrown around the past 24 to 48 hours, and I would say tensions are really starting to heat up again between the United States and Iran. And when you go on social media, I'm telling you, social media can really be a cesspool. I recommend not going on social media, unless you're joining like a Christian fellowship group, things of that nature. But a lot of people on social media, particularly Twitter and Facebook, are just clamoring talks about a World War III. I believe World War III will happen, but it'll be a tribulational event, meaning we won't be here for it, right? That's the good news, our blessed hope. But I wanted to report on this Al Jazeera.com article in relations to the U.S.-Iran tensions. The leader of Iran's elite Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, has promised a crushing response to any American military attacks in the Gulf after United States President Donald Trump threatened to shoot down and destroy Iranian vessels. And for good reason, by the way. Iran's been a bully for decades. It's about time that somebody, I don't care who, but somebody stood up to Iran. I have not liked Iran, but I want you to understand what I say, when I say that. The people of Iran are some of the most kind-hearted people, right? I mean, they're coming to Christ in mass numbers. Understand, I'm talking about the Iranian government. They have not treated their people well, and they love to boast about their military that they're building, and they just recently launched a satellite into spatial orbit, right? A huge success for Iran, so that kind of contributes to the stresses, I would say, that a possible war would bring. But anyway, continuing on. Iranian officials on Thursday also accused Trump of bullying and said he should focus on caring for U.S. service members infected with COVID-19 instead of making threats. Thousands of U.S. service members have contracted the virus, including hundreds on a stricken aircraft carrier docked in Guam. At least 2 have died from COVID-19. Continuing onwards, and this is a quote, "I have ordered our naval forces to destroy any American terrorist force in the Persian Gulf that threatens security of Iran's military or non-military ships," from General Hossein Salami. I know Sister Lisa calls him salami. The security of the Persian Gulf is part of Iran's strategic priorities. The U.S. president's tweet on Wednesday saying he had authorized the U.S. Navy in the region to attack any Iranian fast boats that engaged American military assets. And this, of course, came after an encounter last week between the two forces in the Gulf. Quote, "U.S. forces have no business 7,000 miles, away from home, provoking our sailors off our own Persian Gulf shores," writing Iran's foreign affairs minister. And that's something he wrote on Twitter. After Iran's announcement of the launch of a military recon, I'm just going to call it recon, I can't pronounce that word. After the launch of a military recon satellite on Wednesday by Iran, Trump wrote on Twitter without citing any specific incident, "I have," quote, "instructed the United States Navy to shoot down and destroy any and all Iranian gunboats if they harass our ships at sea." And then it's just a lot of talk about both sides calling each other bullies, and definitely tensions are heating up, not just in the Persian Gulf, but I'd say tensions are heating up, period, between the United States and Iran. Iran's really started bolstering and building up their military, and obviously with the successful launch of a military recon satellite into spatial orbit, kind of brings things into a new level of uncertainty, I would say, between the United States and Iran. So I just want to bring you all some encouragement and some ensurement as we're seeing this happen, right? This is obviously a fulfillment of Matthew 24, right? That in the last days we would see wars and rumors of wars, but, to not be troubled, right? For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. And obviously Matthew 24 is referring to tribulational events leading up to the second coming. But if we're seeing the tribulation period casting its shadows on the world that we live in today, how much closer is the rapture, right? Because we know the rapture, which is our blessed hope, comes before or prior to the 7-year tribulation period. So just understand, right? We have not been given a spirit of fear. I mean, we see these things happen, like the tensions between the U.S. and Iran and the COVID-19 pandemic, and how the government's using it to monitor the citizens, right? You hear all these talks about digital currencies, digital footprints, global surveillance, a one world tracking system, right? One world is the key word there. But we have not been given, as we see these things in these uncertain and sobering times, yet exciting times from the perspective of the believer, we have not been given a spirit of fear. 2 Timothy 1:7, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. So please understand, right, that if you are in God, you do not have a spirit of fear. So if you have not believed on the Son of Man, I implore you to do so now. Right now can be your moment of salvation. Right? John 3:16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him, it does not say work for him, whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. So please understand, the moment you believe the gospel, you are saved. What's the gospel, right? 1 Corinthians 15, 1-4. It's that Jesus Christ died on the cross. He shed his precious blood for the remission of all mankind's sin, past, present, and future. He was buried, and he rose again the third day according to the scriptures. That is the gospel. The good news in that while we were yet sinners, Christ died for us, Romans 5:8. In the nanosecond we believe that gospel in our hearts, not only are we saved and indwelled with the Holy Spirit, but we're sealed until the day of redemption, Ephesians 4:30. Ephesians 2:8-9, for by grace are ye saved through faith, and that not of yourselves, it is the gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. Please believe on Christ if you haven't, because time is short, and when we see events like this with the U.S. and Iran, that just reinforces what we're saying. Time is short. Believe on Christ today. God bless you guys. Thank you again for the prayers. I will be back on tomorrow, should the Lord tarry. Otherwise, God bless y'all.